lights on the windshield. We don't say much tonight. Your head is on my shoulder. Streets are passing out of sight. Soft radio in the background, some old love song in the air. I count the signs and shadows, just glad that you are there. In this night taxi home, the world is quiet and slow. Every red light feels like time we're given not to let you go. In this night taxi home, with your fingers locked in mine, I wish this ride could last forever, frozen in this neon time. Raindrops paint the windows, turning traffic into stars. We're laughing about nothing, healing all our little scars. Driver doesn't ask questions, he just lets the moment stay. Like a secret Polaroid memory we'll never throw away. If the meter keeps on running, let it run into the dawn. I don't care about the distance if it means we're not alone. Every corner, every turn is just another chance to say I'm not ready for goodbye, not ready for today. The camera found us half awake beside the morning window frame. You squinting at the flash, me laughing, neither of us came prepared for being caught like that, so open and so soft. The kind of moment usually kept and rarely shown aloft. The photo slid out slowly with its mystery of gray, and we stood close together, watching color find its way. First your shapes, then shadows, then the outline of your face. I held it like it might dissolve if I let go of space. Polaroid at dawn, a little blurred around the edge. Two people in the morning light before they made a pledge of anything official. Just a moment, just a look, the kind of thing that never quite fits neatly in a book. Polaroid at dawn, I've got it somewhere safe and near. The color's slightly faded now across the passing year, but everything I need to know is visible and warm. We were there, we were happy, that's the whole and perfect form. You wrote the date along the bottom with a borrowed pen, said we should take 100 more and do this all again. I said, let's just keep this one perfect, just this one for now. You rolled your eyes and took another 3 somehow. And maybe you were right, maybe more is more sometimes. Maybe memory needs backups and repeated paradigms. But my favorite is the first one, accidental, barely there. The one where neither of us knew both of us were there. Years from now in some drawer lined with other small remains, ticket stubs and matchbooks and the residue of trains. Someone's hand will find it and will hold it to the light. 2 faces in a morning after some forgotten night. They won't know what we said then or the road that brought us there, but they'll see something in our eyes, some lightness in the air. And maybe that's enough to leave, not chapters, not a name, just proof that once at dawn we looked at each other just the same. Polaroid at dawn, colors holding on, a little soft around the edges. But it's us, it's real, it's ours. It doesn't come with thunder, doesn't shake the ground. It's more like someone turned the volume slightly down on all the noise that used to fill the room. I kept and left behind a stillness that I never thought I'd get. It's in the way you read beside me without needing words, the way the morning sounds like something better than the birds. It's how I noticed details I had never seen before, the pattern of the ceiling, the light below the door. I used to think that love was something loud enough to hear across the street, but now I think it's more like something quiet underneath your feet. This quiet fever running through me slow, warm enough to feel, but soft enough to grow. This quiet fever, nothing needs to break. It's the kind of love that's gentle, wide awake, no catastrophe, no falling, no despair, just deeply adore is harder than the drama, and a great deal more reward. So let the poets write their fires, I will write this instead. The quiet fever keeping me alive and soft and fed. Sometimes at night I wake before the alarm, before the light, and listen to your breathing in the middle of the night. There is a kind of gratitude I have no words to name, that someone found their way to me and somehow always came. I put my hand against your shoulder, barely anyway, and think about the million ways the world could not have made this possible. And yet it did, and yet you're here and warm, and this quiet fever keeps me from the cold and from the storm. This quiet fever running through me slow, I wouldn't trade it for the fires that I used to know. This quiet fever in the dark and still, this is what I mean when people ask me what I feel. No catastrophe, no falling, no despair, just this quiet fever. You and the open air. We said goodbye at midnight, but we're still here at 4. The tea has gone through 3 rounds, and we've talked about some more than we intended. Childhood things, the cities that we miss, the way that certain songs can bring you back to something like this. The kitchen has that end of night feel, yellow and a little warm, the kind of light that makes things soft and nobody feels torn. We're past the point of tired now and into something clear, that place where you say everything because there's nothing left to fear, until the morning tram comes down the line. Let's keep this conversation yours and mine until the morning tram. There's time to spare for all the things we never said out loud or dared. The night has been so generous, let's not waste a bit. Let's sit here in its last hour and just fit until the morning tram takes you away from me. Let's be exactly who we are and let the others see. You tell me something quietly you haven't told a friend. I tell you something back, and we both laugh at how it ends. The window starts to lighten with the slowest kind of blue, that first suggestion of a morning coming into view. We both see it and say nothing for a long and easy beat, just 2 people at a table with the night beneath their feet. You reach across and take the last biscuit without asking me. I think I love you most in moments promise of that kind of honesty. There's a version of this evening that I'll carry for a while. The specific slant of lamplight and the specific of your smile. It's something that I said that wasn't even all that right, but you laughed like it was perfect, and it made the whole night right. That's the thing about the long ones. When you stay until the dawn, you find out who a person is when all the performance is long gone. And what I found in you tonight across this cluttered table space is someone I would gladly lose a night of sleep to face. Somewhere down the street now, the first tram finding its way. We hear it in the distance, neither ready for the day. You pull on your coat slowly, I walk you to the door. We both know that this evening we'll keep asking for one more. Rain came down somewhere past Riverside at night. We pulled into the motel with the flickering neon sign. Room 12, a creaking floorboard and a heater that hums low. The kind of place you only find when you just let the highway go. You washed your face and borrowed my old sweater for the night. Sat cross-legged on the bedspread in the thin fluorescent light. Said this is kind of perfect in that quiet, crooked way. I agreed and didn't mention that I'd felt that since the day. River Motel, end of the road, the kind of stop that lightens every load. River Motel, rain on the glass. Some places only matter while they last. No room service, no one knows our name, just you and me, and somewhere all the same. River Motel, I'd stay here till the end. Anywhere becomes a home when you walk in. We found a vending machine down the hall with burnt coffee inside. Brought it back and watched the river through the window, dark and wide. You said you used to dream of disappearing just like this. A road, a rain, or somewhere new, a person not to miss. I said I used to dream the same, but now the dream has changed. It's less about the somewhere and more about who's in the frame. You smiled into your paper cup and didn't say a word, but I think that was the moment something permanent occurred. The map has got 100 places we could choose to go, and maybe we'll see all of them before the winter's slow. But I will always come back to this room beside the rain, the heater and the sweater and the river because it's beautiful, it's barely holding on, but because you were exactly you, and all the rest was gone. Morning came in gray and soft, the river still below. We left the key on the nightstand, took the long way home. River Motel, room 12. I think of it still. We stopped halfway across the bridge without a reason why. Just leaned against the railing underneath the open sky. The river caught the city lights and scattered them below. 1,000 broken colors in the current's gentle flow. You pointed at the red one that was trembling near the shore. Said it looks like something you had seen in dreams before. I didn't have an answer, so I just stood close to you and watched the same reflection in a different shade of blue. The traffic on the other side was just a distant, faded sound, like someone else's life was passing by while ours was here and finally found. Neon on over river, painting everything we know. Neon over the river, watch it tremble as we go. All the colors of the city melting into something new. Neon over the river, and the only solid thing is you. Neon over the river, soft and breaking on the tide. I think I could stand here forever with you standing by my side. You said you used to come here as a young girl, lonely thing, before you knew what waiting for the right person could bring. You'd throw a coin and make a wish. You never told a soul about a night exactly like this one that made you whole. I reached into my pocket for a coin I didn't have. You laughed and gave me one and said, now make yours too, go ahead. I held it for a moment and I made the simplest wish, that every night from here would have a fraction of all this. The coin went down and disappeared into the dark below. You slipped your arm through mine and said, I think the river heard you though. Neon over the river, painting everything we know. Neon over the river, watch it tremble as we go. All the colors of the city melting into something new. Neon over the river, and the only solid thing is you. There are cities built on rivers for a reason, I believe, because the water shows you everything that you might otherwise not see. It takes the hard and angular concrete and the steel, and turns it into something soft, uncertain, almost real. Like how the hardest feelings, when reflected back in time, become a kind of beauty that is somehow still all mine. You are my river city, you are neon in the rain. Everything I see in you is lovelier for the refrain. We stayed until the night got cold, and then we stayed some more, until the bridge lamp flickered twice the way it always had before. You wrapped your scarf around the both of us in one wide loop, and we walked off the bridge together like a quiet, laughing group of two. The best possible number for a bridge at night, for a city made of neon and a river made of light. I look back once at where we stood and saw our shadows still leaning on the railing, which I think it always will. 3 in the morning and I'm standing by the glass, watching all the streetlights and the empty hours pass. The city's breathing slowly, like it finally let go of all the weight it carries in the daylight's anxious flow. One taxi somewhere distant, and a window still in gold. Someone else awake out there with something to be told. I pour a glass of water, let the silence fill the room, and find I'm not uncomfortable inside this quiet gloom. City sleeps, and so does everything I fear. City sleeps, and somehow you feel near. I don't need to wake you, don't need words tonight. Just knowing you are breathing makes the dark feel right. City sleeps, the hour belongs to no one else but us, the ones who wake at 3 a.m. without a fuss. City sleeps beneath its neon and its stone, and I have never felt so quietly not alone. About the version of myself from years before, who stood at other windows not quite knowing what life's for, who watched the same late city with a hollower inside. No one in the other room, no warmth, no place to hide. And now you're just behind that door, asleep without a care, your shoes beside the entrance and your jacket on the chair. The smallest proof of presence, but it fills the whole damn place. I stand here in the dark and feel it warm across my face. Maybe love is mostly this, The unremarkable and true, someone's shoes beside the door, a light left on for you. Not the declarations, not the height of it, the fall, but 3 a.m. and knowing there is someone down the hall. I finish off my water, let the curtain fall back slow, tiptoe past the bedroom door and watch you for a moment. So just a second, just enough to carry back to sleep with me. The fact of you, the warmth of you, the quiet that you be. City sleeps, and so will I now. Back to bed, back to you. City sleeps somehow, and everything is fine. Everyone has gone now. There are glasses on the sill. Someone left a jacket, and the house is paper still. You're collecting cups, and I am standing by the shelf, looking at you moving like the music plays itself. The city made its last sound somewhere after 1:30. Even the insomniacs tonight have come undone. Just us in the kitchen light that buzzes like a thought, and all this tender nothing that the evening gently brought. You look up and catch me watching, tilt your head and almost smile. Say the night was good, but going, can we keep it just a while? One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. We don't need a reason, we don't need much more. One more slow dance while the candles glow. One more revolution, nice and slow. The song doesn't matter, any song will do. I just need a reason to be close to you. One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. One more night like this, and then one more. You put something on from an old tape you found, a song neither of us can quite place by sound, but it has that feeling, warm and underwater snow, the kind of song that makes you wanna know where to go. You extend your hand like it's the most natural thing, like we've done this every evening in the spring. Maybe we have, maybe in another life, we've always danced in kitchens, husband and a wife. The fridge hums a note, a half step out of tune. The curtain shifts a little in the midnight June. Your cheek is warm against my shoulder where it rests, and I think I understand now what forever means at best. One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. We don't need a reason, we don't need much more. One more slow dance while the candles glow. One more revolution, nice and slow. The song doesn't matter, any song will do. I just need a reason to be close to you. One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. One more night like this, and then one more. People build their monuments in marble and in stone. They write their names on buildings so they'll never be alone. But I think the truest thing a person never leaves behind is not the grand achievement or the brilliance of the mind. It's the memory of dancing when there's no one left to see, when the music barely reaches and you're holding on to me. It's the weight of someone's arms and the rhythm of their breath, and the fact that we kept dancing even past the point of rest. That's a monument I want, not marble, not a name. Just the two of us in kitchens, dancing always just the same. The tape has almost ended, I can hear it start to fade. The ribbon getting thinner, the last inches being played. You pull back just a little, look up at my face, say we should go to sleep, but neither of us leaves this place. Because we both know perfectly this moment won't return in exactly this arrangement. Same smoke, same candle burn, same jacket on the chair, same cup beside the door. Same two people slightly tired, wanting just one more. One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. The tape runs out but we keep going more. One more slow dance in the dark and still. No music now but dancing, if you will. The song is gone but something keeps the beat. Your hand in mine, the shuffling of our feet. One more slow dance on the kitchen floor. One more, one more, one more. One more. I know every crack in the pavement on your street, every doorstep, every lamplight, every sound beneath my feet. The corner where the old dog sleeps beneath the evening tree. The bakery that's always closed but somehow smells of coffee free. I've walked this road in the summer rain and walked it in the snow. I've walked it when I wasn't sure and walked it just to know there's a language in these shadows that I've learned to read with care. Every flicker is a signal saying that you're almost there. one with a small yellow glow. I see it from the corner of the street, and everything I feel just starts to grow. Shadows on your street, soft and slow beneath the night. Shadows on your street, every one of them feels right. I have walked 1,000 streets in 1,000 different towns, but this one has your name on it, and this one never lets me down. Shadows on your street, they've been watching over me. Every time I make this walk, it feels like coming home to thee. You leave the latch undone on Thursdays, maybe more. A quiet kind of signal that you don't need to speak it for. The staircase has 3 steps that creak, the second, fifth, and last. I skip them out of habit now, they're markers of the past. I remember the first time I stood outside your door, rehearsing what to say and then forgetting every word and more. You opened it before I knocked and laughed in my surprise. I think I fell in love completely right then, just from your eyes. And the radio was playing something low, the kind of song you never learn the name. But every time I hear that melody now, I'm standing at your door again, the same. Shadows on your street, soft and slow beneath the night. Shadows on your street, every one of them feels right. I have walked 1,000 streets in 1,000 different towns, but this one has your name on it, and this one never lets me down. What is a home if not a set of coordinates you choose? A corner of the world you'd never willingly refuse. Not the walls or floors or ceilings, not the locks upon the door. It's the person who is waiting with the kettle on the floor. It's the smell of tea and candles, it's the lamp that's slightly bent, it's the sound of someone moving who is everything you meant. It's the shadows of the evening falling gentle on the stones, and the knowledge that this journey is the one that always leads you home. Tonight I walk a little slower, take the longer road around. I want a few more minutes in this feeling that I found. The night air holds the summer like a letter left unsealed, and everything I've ever lost somehow feels like it's been healed. Your street is just a street to everyone who passes by. A row of quiet buildings underneath the Thursday sky. But to me it is the answer to a question I've been asking long, a place I always find my way back to, where I belong. Shadows on your street, soft and gold beneath the lamp. I'm almost at your door now, hands a little cold and damp, but you'll open before I knock again, and laugh again, and then I'll forget every other street street I know, and only know you again. Same old cinema on Linden Street. The carpet's worn, the heating's incomplete. We always get the seats beside the aisle and share one coat between us for a while. The trailers roll, you lean against my arm. There's nothing here that means to do us harm, just previews, popcorn, someone's phone that glows. I don't watch the screen, I watch you and the rows. And when we stare back out into the cold, the city looks like something we've been told from someone who once loved it just like this, with neon on the puddles and that quiet kind of bliss. After the cinema again, we stand beneath the awning in the rain. After the cinema again, you say the ending could have been explained. I'm only half listening, I have to say I'm mostly watching how the streetlights make your face glow gray and gold. After the cinema again, I think I'll love this moment until I'm old. You dissect the plot outside the door, the director's choice, the motive at the core. I play along and offer my two thoughts, but mostly I'm just glad you haven't stopped. We walk the long way back without a plan, past bakeries and bookshops, a one-man band. You take a photo of a neon sign that reads something about tomorrow and all it needs. The tram goes by like a long warm goodbye. We watch it disappear into the night. You say one coffee and I always say okay, even though we both know we'll be talking until gray of day. After the cinema again, we find the table at the corner of the lane. After the cinema again, your cup is chipped, the music has no name. The waiter knows our order, that's how often that we're here. The same two people, same two cups, same night throughout the year. There I think of, I chase sunsets at the edge of mountain peaks, who travel for the thunder and go searching for what speaks. But I have found my favorite place somewhere between the film and this small cafe table where the evening fills to brim with your voice and your opinions and your scarf still on your neck, with the bill between us that we always seem to wreck by arguing about who paid the last time and the time before. It's not dramatic, no, but it is everything and more. Some night we'll see the last film of the run and walk out into something that's begun or ended. Who can say which way it goes? But I'll be next to you and that's all anyone knows. The awning drips its slow and steady song. You ask me if I think that we stayed too long. I look at you and say, not nearly yet. This is the kind of evening I refuse to let forget. After the cinema again, we stand beneath the awning in the rain. After the cinema again, I memorize your just the same.
We had a summer that nobody else could see. A little apartment, 2 fans and you and me. The balcony was narrow, but we fit just fine. You read your paperback and I was reading mine. The city down below us barely made a sound, like everything was floating 6 inches off the ground. We didn't need a reason to stay up past midnight. We were good at making ordinary feel right. You put on something slow, the kind that fills the room, and said, "This is our music, we can keep it till the moon comes up above the rooftops and the last car drives away." Some things are worth the stillness, not everything needs words to say. Heat in slow motion, the summer we kept tangled in evenings you never forget. Heat in slow motion, your voice in the air. August was golden and you were right there. Heat in slow motion, the record still plays. I could stay inside this memory for days. Heat in slow motion, I press it like a flower to the page. And I remember how it felt at that sweet, careless age. You made coffee at 11 like the morning wouldn't come. The spoon against the saucer was a kind of quiet drum. I watched the condensation trace its way down to the sill, and thought that I could live inside this moment if I will. We talked about the future like it was a distant shore, not knowing that the summer we were in was what we looked for more. The kind of thing you only recognize when looking back. The beauty of the ordinary things you cannot track. You fell asleep first, the book across your chest. The fan was turning slowly and I didn't want to rest. I just sat there watching you and memorized the scene, the softest golden image of the person that you'd been. Heat in slow motion, the summer we kept tangled in in a moment made of heat, of how the world was quiet and somehow felt complete, of how you said let's never leave, and maybe that was true, because I never really left that summer or left you. Heat in slow motion, the summer we kept, the evenings we lived in, and never really left.
There are letters by the window, folded corners, faded ink, little pieces of our history scattered closer than we think. You are sitting on the carpet with a mug that's losing steam, and the quiet of this evening feels like living in a dream. We are writing slow tomorrows in the margins of tonight. Every word you ever gave me is a small and gentle light. In the letters by the window, I can hear your younger voice, but you're here with me this evening, and you're still my favorite choice. City hum behind the curtains, someone's laughing in the street. We are under woolen blankets, tangled legs and colder feet. You hand me an old confession that you never really said. I just smile and say it's okay, I know exactly what you meant. If the paper turns